Welcome to the Nerd Gummy Clusters Halftime Report. I'm Vanessa Abrams, this is Quinshon Berry, and this is Mark Smith. Wow, Ohio State had a dominant first quarter. They had 201 yards on offense, with Tennessee's only 16 yards. But then in the second quarter, Tennessee came back. They had 131 yards to Ohio State's only 59. The score is 21-10, and it's anyone's game still. What do you think?
It was a really incredible game. That first quarter, dominant for Ohio State, as you said, Vanessa, but there were then those two plays that really just shifted the momentum. And I think that we're going to see Ohio State wanting to come back out with a chip on their shoulder after this halftime, because they really shifted and lost that momentum. Nico really took momentum after those two plays. We saw Tennessee really come out strong, finish the second half very strongly. Now they're in really good position coming out with the ball in the second half.
Yeah, Vanessa, I agree. Quinshon, well said. I think really the story of the first half was momentum.
Yeah.
It was all momentum. Ohio State comes out, they have the momentum, they score 3 touchdowns, looks like they're driving to the fourth, looks like there's nothing Tennessee can do. And then, the interception so close on that call, and then coming the other way, even more difficult, that roughing the passer, questionable call there that allows Tennessee to score. And now all of a sudden, Tennessee can do no wrong. And so the question really will be, coming out of halftime, who has the momentum?
Yeah.
Does Tennessee keep it, or can Ohio State flip that script again?
Yeah. So earlier today and yesterday, this was the first start of the college football 12-team playoff. Yesterday, Notre Dame versus Iowa. Notre Dame dominated Iowa with Indiana with 27 to 17. Notre Dame had 394 yards, and Indiana only had 278 yards. Jeremiah Love, he had a 98-yard touchdown. He ran it all the way down. It was pretty incredible. What do you think about the Clemson game?
The Clemson game started off exciting. It was good to see Texas and Clemson playing for the first time. Two storied programs coming together, never having played before. SEC for the first time, Texas versus the ACC champion in Clemson. Clemson, many people said, did not deserve to be in this game, and it didn't look good at the beginning. 21-7 quickly in the first half. But then things started to come off a little bit for Texas. We saw the quarterback Ewers make some mistakes in the second half. Clemson started to come back a little bit. We got down to a 7-point game, back and forth, very exciting. Clemson showing that they deserved to be there. And then what it really came down to for me was a 3rd and 2 on the 2-yard line, and Clemson just could not get it in.
Yeah.
Stopped 2 times, 3rd down, 4th down, turnover on the downs, and then it was gone from there. But I will tell you, Clemson came to play today. They proved that they deserved to be here, but Texas, the better team. Texas looked like a national championship program today.
What about the Penn State SMU team?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Notre Dame in, we've got Texas in. Penn State versus SMU, the 3rd game in the college football playoff, first round, and boy, it was all Penn State. That was about as dominant as they get. Another questionable decision as to whether SMU gets into the college football playoff, and I've got to think that there's a lot of people questioning the committee about that decision now, because Penn State, particularly defensively, 3 interceptions in the first half, 2 of them run all the way back for a touchdown. Their running backs, the heart of their team, multiple touchdowns, and really there was nothing SMU could do on either side of the ball. So there we have it. We've got Penn State in, we've got Texas in, we've got Notre Dame in. We'll see what happens in this one, Vanessa.
Yeah. So second half, what does Ohio State need to do to beat Tennessee, and what does Tennessee need to do to come back to win this game? What do you think?
Well, I think Ohio State, for me, that's clear. First quarter, they were all over the quarterback for Tennessee. He had a few step drop back, and he was getting sacked. Second quarter, not much pressure on the quarterback, and you saw the difference. So to me, it's all about Ohio State's defense being able to step up that pressure and get to the quarterback. For For Tennessee, I think it's a matter of whether they can stop Ohio State's offense. Didn't show any sign of being able to do that in the first quarter. Second quarter, 2 short, chippy plays lead to punts for Ohio State. So we'll see if they can get back on the roll offensively, or if Tennessee can keep up the defense.
Yeah. It very much felt like momentum to me as well. Those 2 plays were just critical and back to back, and that's just, those are both tough breaks for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Momentum shift very significantly towards Tennessee, but I would love to see what happens when Tennessee comes back out from halftime, to see what those halftime talks can do, what the coaches can do to get their players ready to come back out. I expect to see Ohio State coming out with a chip on their shoulder after the way that second half finished, and I think they're going to come out really strong. But Tennessee starts with the ball, so it's going to be really important for Nico to come out and dominate like he did just for those last few minutes. He really wants to show that he's that 6'6" quarterback that can just do anything and everything you need him to do. Excited to see the second half, Vanessa.
Yeah. If Ohio State can stop Tennessee on this first play, they can use that momentum to score again. And I think they have a good chance of keeping that momentum going to keep scoring.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well said, Vanessa.
Absolutely.
Here we go. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.